Finally got my system up and running. I had the Asus Rampage 2 Extreme, as you all know if you watched the previous videos. I've also now bought the Gigabyte EX58 Extreme. At the two, I've decided I'm going to keep the Gigabyte and I'll get rid of the Asus. Reason being, I'm just having better results. Seems the board's a lot more stable, and yeah, although the Rampage 2 looks just looks sweet, but yeah, I mean it's like, it is, you can't fault it for its looks, but I prefer the Gigabyte, and I never thought I would say that because it is one ugly ass motherfucking board. But anyway, I'm keeping the Gigabyte. I've got the RP1000 pump and res in front, and the disk drivers below it. Nothing else, all empty bays. I'll get some fans behind that. There's a fan in the bottom there which cools the hard drives which are in the bottom section of the case, which you won't see and which I'm not going to bother showing you either. I've got a 1200 watt power supply, Thermaltake Tough Power in it. I've got the Dominator triple channel RAM, XSPC water block, black tubing, two GTX 280s in at the minute. I've got a third just here, but it doesn't work in the Gigabyte X58 either, so I don't know why it doesn't work in either of my two X58 motherboards, but it's one of those things. It works in the 790, just not in these, so hopefully I will be able to get an RMA on that. I'm pretty pleased with the cable management. Everything's sort of tucked behind the motherboard tray. Really, there's no sort of wires on show at all. Happy with the water block. I don't like it, to be honest. It's not too bad, but it's performing well. I'm also using the Northbridge block, which is part of the heat pipe system. At some point, when I get the phase unit on the bottom, I will be replacing the MOSFET and the Northbridge and the Southbridge. I can't think of the name of the block that I'm buying. I think it's called, I can't remember what it's called, but it's one, I think EVGA use them. It's like a dual block, covers the Northbridge and the Southbridge, but only with one set of nozzles, which is perfect for Tri-SLI. I don't know what this purple, I don't know what that shit, what is that shit coming down the screen? Is that coming from the fan? You might be able to see it, I can see it. I don't know what that is. I think it's coming some, I don't know, it looks quite weird. Anyway, there's not much else I can really say about the system. I'm happy with it. It's really nice, it's stable, temperatures are good. I wish I had the third GTX 280 in there, but I've not. My window, which I had put in, is happy with that. Everything happy. I'll just quickly show you the rest of the stuff. I'm using a 37-inch HD TV. First of all, I'm going to show you at the minute I'm running at 4.209. The temperatures, I don't know if you can quite see that because it's blue. It says 28 degrees C, and the alarm goes off at 50. I'm just going to run a quick Cinebench to show you the max temperature when it's rendering this. All 8 cores will be used 100%. I'm just going to start this off. There we go. All cores loaded 100%. Temperature 43. 38 seconds, and a score of 23,146. Now with my old quad QX9650 clocked at 4.5 GHz, I got no way near that. Really, I think maybe 17,000 at the most, and I think the time was around 49 seconds. So it's took about 10 seconds off, and the score's improved a hell of a lot. Not really to show much, not really much of a benchmark in my eyes, because I like to game, but I just thought I'd show you that, really to show all 4 cores loaded and to show what sort of temperatures I was going to get with all 4 cores loaded. Air temperatures running that same benchmark was ridiculous. I mean, I've just seen a Maxi video and it was encoding some video, but I don't know whether that loads all cores to the max. I'm not sure, but he was saying something about the temperatures don't see over 40 or something. Last week I was doing the same with this test, and the temperatures were going up to 85. If you ran anything like Prime 95 to see if it was a stable overclock, forget about it. Within like 10 seconds you're turning it off because you don't want the CPU to die. The temperature just hit the 90s and they were still climbing, so you have to stop it. You just cannot. So yeah, you can overclock with the air cooling. Yeah, you might be able to hit 4 GHz, but don't think about loading all those cores up because the CPU ain't going to last very long. That's what I can say about that. Also, a lot of people are saying it's a waste of time getting the 965, get a 920 and overclock it. Yeah, fair enough, but I think 90% of the people that will buy a 920 won't be able to hit 4 GHz. If they do, they're going to be very lucky. They're going to have to give it a lot of voltage. You might be lucky, you might spend 250 quid and get a real sweet chip and hit 4.5 GHz, but likely of that happening, not very likely, basically. That's what I've got to say. Not very likely. Possible, but not very likely. I mean, I've bought the 940. I mean, I've got it at 4.2. It's stable at 145. That's with low calibration on, so that stays at about that even when I'm loading up the cores. But I've had to work for this. Wasn't easy. Wasn't just one of those things, just tweaking a few settings. Like, I mean, yeah, I've had to work for this. I can get it. I'm working on a 4.4 stable at the minute, with voltages around 155. I will push 1.6 if I have to, but at the minute I'm working on that one. If I had the 965, I think things would be a hell of a lot easier, because you've not got to worry about the base clock frequency at all. Just bump that multiplier right up and you don't hit that wall. I mean, a lot of the 920s and 940s, the base clock wall could be anything from 180 right up to 210, maybe 220, maybe even 230 if you really look at the max base clock I've managed to pull on this chip is 210. That without turbo mode gives me an overclock 210 times 22. My maths ain't too good, but I think it was around 4.5, 4.6 ish. If you put turbo on, it's a little bit more because it times 23. But yeah, basically that's the max base clock for this chip that the one I own. Base clock max 210, no more. Okay, that's it. I think I've ranted on long enough. Thanks for watching.